Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel, Forever in Memory. In this video, we'll be honoring American celebrities who have passed away today and in recent days, along with other notable figures from around the world. Before we begin, please show your support by giving this video a like. It really helps the channel. Thank you. And let's get started.
Claire Celsey, who passed away at the age of 59, was an American politician and devoted public servant whose life reflected integrity, empathy, and a tireless commitment to her community. A member of the Iowa Senate since 2019, she became known for her sharp intellect, straightforward honesty, and passionate defense of education, environmental responsibility, and social equality. Born in Des Moines, Iowa in 1966, she began her professional path in communications, mastering the art of listening and understanding people, skills that later became the foundation of her political work. Throughout her career, Claire believed deeply in the idea that public service was not about power, but about giving voice to those unheard. She championed local education, fought for access to quality health care, and stood firmly for transparency in government decisions. Her colleagues admired her for her courage to speak truthfully, even when it was difficult, and for her unwavering optimism in the face of political pressure. In every project and initiative, she carried the belief that progress begins with compassion and collaboration. Claire Celsey's legacy lives on through the countless people she inspired, teachers, activists, and young leaders who saw in her a reminder that one person's dedication can truly make a difference. Dana Drabova, who passed away at the age of 64, was a Czech physicist, nuclear safety expert, and a respected public figure whose calm intellect and sense of duty shaped the modern understanding of nuclear energy in Central Europe. Born in 1961 in Prague, she devoted her life to science and public safety, becoming one of the most trusted voices in her field. As the long-serving chairwoman of the State Office for Nuclear Safety, Drabova guided the Czech Republic through decades of technological progress, always emphasizing responsibility, precision, and the protection of people and the environment. Her clear, measured communication style earned her the nickname the First Lady of the Atom, as she became not only a scientist, but also an educator who could make complex issues understandable to everyone. Beyond her scientific achievements, Dana Drabova was admired for her humility and unwavering moral compass. She entered public service with the same discipline she brought to her laboratory work, methodical, patient, and rooted in truth. Throughout her career, she advocated for international cooperation in nuclear safety, believing that knowledge should unite, not divide nations. Her legacy remains one of brilliance and trust. To those who worked with her, she was more than an expert. She was a symbol of rationality and courage in an age of uncertainty. Dana Drabova's voice, always calm and full of wisdom, will continue to echo in the scientific community she helped shape. John Woodvine,
who passed away at the age of 96, was an English actor of remarkable depth and presence, remembered for his commanding voice and dignified performances on stage and screen. Born in South Shields in 1929, he trained at the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art and soon became one of Britain's most respected character actors. Over the decades, his work spanned theater, film, and television, bringing intensity and intelligence to every role. Audiences across generations knew him from his appearances in An American Werewolf in London, Z-Cars, and Doctor Who, where his performances carried both authority and emotional nuance. On stage, he was a longtime member of the Royal Shakespeare Company, where he brought Shakespeare's language to life with rare clarity and power. John Woodvine's career reflected his deep respect for the craft of acting, precise, patient, and honest. He believed that every role, no matter how small, was a chance to reveal something true about the human condition. Colleagues remembered him as a generous mentor, a man who valued integrity above fame. His legacy endures not only through the characters he portrayed, but through the quiet professionalism that defined his life. John Woodvine remains a symbol of the classic British actor, disciplined, articulate, and profoundly human.
Franz Josef Wagner, who passed away at the age of 82, was a German journalist and writer known for his provocative style, sharp pen, and fearless commentary that often stirred both admiration and controversy. Born in 1943 in Olomouc, then part of Czechoslovakia, he became one of the most recognizable voices in German media, especially through his long-running column in Bild, where he addressed political, cultural, and social topics with disarming honesty and emotion. His writing was never neutral. It was vivid, personal, and unapologetically direct. Wagner mastered the art of speaking to ordinary people, blending humor, pathos, and outrage in a single paragraph. Whether he praised or criticized, his words always carried the warmth and contradictions of someone who loved life deeply and observed it without illusions. Before becoming a columnist, he worked as a reporter and editor for several major German publications, covering international events and interviewing some of the most influential figures of his time. Yet despite his professional success, he often described journalism as a form of confession, a way to express the restless thoughts of a man who felt everything too intensely. Franz Josef Wagner's career reflected a lifetime of curiosity, rebellion, and humanity. His legacy remains in the lines he wrote, bold, emotional, imperfect, and unmistakably his own. A voice that captured the rhythm of modern Germany and the fragile beauty of speaking one's mind. Mohammed Tahir Ayala, who passed away at the age of 74, was a Sudanese politician and economist who played a key role in his country's transitional period, serving as Prime Minister in 2019 during one of the most turbulent chapters in Sudan's modern history. Born in 1951 in the city of Dongola, he dedicated his life to public service, economic reform, and the dream of national stability. Educated in economics at the University of Khartoum and later abroad, Ayala was known for his pragmatic mind and his belief in development through infrastructure and industry. Before becoming prime minister, he served as governor of the Red Sea State and later of Gezira State, where he earned a reputation for effective governance and a hands-on approach to regional challenges. His brief tenure as prime minister came at a time of deep unrest as Sudan faced protests, political change, and the hope for democracy after decades of authoritarian rule. Through these challenges, Ayala sought to balance reform with order, often standing between the demands of the people and the complexities of the state. Mohamed Tahir Ayala's legacy is that of a leader who tried to bridge Sudan's past and its uncertain future. He will be remembered as a figure of discipline and resilience, a man who believed that progress required patience and that even in chaos, duty to one's nation must come first.
Ahmed Taleb Ibrahimi, who passed away at the age of 93, was an Algerian politician, intellectual, and statesman whose long public career helped shape the nation's post-independence identity. Born in 1932 in Sétif, he grew up during the final years of French colonial rule and became part of the generation that dreamed of a free and self-determined Algeria. Trained as a physician before entering politics, Ibrahimi brought to public service the precision of a scientist and the conviction of a patriot. As Minister of Education from 1965 to 1970, he led major reforms that aimed to rebuild Algeria's school system, restoring Arabic language and culture to a central place in national life after decades of colonial suppression. His vision was to create an education rooted in heritage, yet open to progress, one that could prepare Algerian youth for the modern world without losing their identity. Later, as Minister of Foreign Affairs from 1982 to 1988, Ibrahimi became one of the country's most respected diplomatic figures. He represented Algeria with dignity and independence, promoting dialogue and peace across Africa and the Arab world. His speeches were known for their balance of intellect and moral conviction, reflecting a belief that diplomacy should serve not power, but justice and understanding among nations. Even after leaving government, Ahmed Taleb Ibrahimi remained a moral voice in Algerian public life. Through his writings and lectures, he continued to advocate for cultural renewal, unity, and moderation in times of division. His legacy endures in the generation of students, thinkers, and diplomats he inspired, a testament to a life devoted to learning, integrity, and the enduring idea of an Algeria guided by wisdom and dignity.
Ronnie Coleman was born on May 13, 1964, in Monroe, Louisiana, a small town surrounded by endless fields, humid air, and the quiet rhythm of Southern life. From his earliest years, there was a sense of calm determination in him, a stillness that would later turn into the storm of power the world came to admire. He grew up in a modest family, where values of hard work and faith were not just spoken but lived every single day. His mother, Jessie Benton, worked tirelessly to raise her children, and young Ronnie learned early that strength had many faces. Sometimes it was the strength to lift weights, and sometimes it was the strength to keep moving forward when life tested you. At school, he showed a natural gift for sports. Football became his first love, not for glory, but for the discipline it demanded. His teammates often said he was quiet but relentless, never backing down, always pushing harder. When he entered Grambling State University, he joined the football team and played as a middle linebacker, carrying with him that same intensity. There, he learned what it meant to lead, to endure, and to sacrifice. In 1986, he graduated with a degree in accounting, stepping into adulthood with no idea that his life was about to take a completely different turn. After finishing college, he moved to Texas in search of work and stability. Life wasn't easy. Despite his education, jobs were scarce, and Ronnie soon found himself working as a police officer in Arlington, Texas. It was an honest job, full of long nights and unpredictable days, but it was there, among his colleagues and daily patrols, that destiny quietly walked into his life. One day, a fellow officer noticed Ronnie's natural build and invited him to a local gym, Metroflex Gym, a place that would change everything. It wasn't fancy. The air smelled of iron, chalk, and sweat. But the moment he walked in, something inside him came alive. The sound of weights, the raw energy, the quiet war between body and will. It all spoke to him in a language he didn't yet fully understand. Under the guidance of Brian Dobson, the gym owner and trainer, Ronnie began to lift seriously. The weights were heavy, but his determination was heavier. He didn't complain, didn't make excuses. He just trained every day with the same discipline that once carried him through the football field and the long patrol shifts. People around him soon realized that this man had something extraordinary, not just physical strength, but an indomitable mind. The gym became his sanctuary, the place where he could release the exhaustion of daily life and reshape himself into something greater. Ronnie's transformation was not sudden. It was forged through years of silent repetition, through the countless sets done after everyone else had gone home. He wasn't driven by fame or recognition, only by the pure love of challenge. In those early years, when he competed for the first time and didn't win, he didn't feel defeated. He saw every loss as a lesson, every ache as a sign that he was alive and evolving. Behind his calm smile was a fire that refused to fade. Those who trained with him often said he had a strange kind of joy in suffering. The harder it got, the more alive he seemed. He believed pain was not the enemy, but a teacher. That belief would become the foundation of everything he achieved. When he lifted weights, it wasn't just his body that moved, it was his spirit. He carried within him the soul of a worker, a fighter, a believer. By the time the world began to notice him, Ronnie Coleman had already lived 1,000 small battles inside that hot Texas gym. Every rep was a quiet promise to himself, to be better, to go further, to honor the gift of strength he had been given. He was still the same humble police officer, still serving his community by day and transforming his body by night. But beneath that uniform and that modest smile, a legend was forming, one that would soon redefine what human power could look like.
As the 90s unfolded, Ronnie Coleman's life entered a new rhythm, one that balanced duty, discipline, and an unrelenting hunger for progress. By day, he wore the blue uniform of the Arlington Police Department, patrolling the quiet streets and helping those in need. By night, he transformed into something else entirely, a force of nature inside the walls of Metroflex Gym. The weights clanged like thunder, the air thick with heat and iron dust, and Ronnie, drenched in sweat, trained with an intensity that bordered on spiritual. His coach, Brian Dobson, saw the transformation firsthand. Under his mentorship, Ronnie prepared for local competitions, though few could imagine that this quiet officer with a shy smile would one day dominate the bodybuilding world. He entered his first contest, the Mr. Texas Championship in 1990, and won both the heavyweight and overall titles. It was a beginning, not yet a legend, but the spark that would ignite one. Yet even after that victory, Ronnie remained humble. When others celebrated, he went back to work the next day, serving his community, patrolling the same neighborhoods. Fame had no hold on him. The iron did. In the years that followed, the bodybuilding world began to change, and so did Ronnie. He entered competitions but rarely placed high. Many would have quit after repeated disappointments, but quitting was not part of his vocabulary. For him, every loss was a step closer to mastery. He trained harder, studied his form, perfected every muscle. His life became a pattern of exhaustion and rebirth, police shifts, gym sessions, rest, and then back to the grind. It was during this time that he began to say the words that would later echo through generations. "Ain't nothing but a peanut," and "Yeah, buddy." Those phrases, said between breaths of pain and laughter, captured the essence of who he was. A man who found joy in the very struggle that broke others. In 1995, Ronnie's career began to shift. He started placing higher in major competitions, and by 1997, the bodybuilding community could no longer ignore him. His body had evolved into a perfect blend of mass, symmetry, and conditioning, a sculpture carved from sweat and willpower. But behind the glory, there was sacrifice. The training was brutal. His diet was strict to the point of obsession. Every day, he consumed mountains of food just to fuel his enormous frame, often eating the same meal 6 or 7 times a day. Sleep became a rare luxury. Pain became a familiar companion. Then came 1998, the year everything changed. Ronnie entered the Mr. Olympia competition, the highest stage in bodybuilding, facing giants like Flex Wheeler and Kevin Levrone, men who had long dominated the scene. No one expected the quiet policeman from Texas to win. But when he stepped on stage, the audience saw something different. Not just size, but perfection. Every muscle glistened under the lights, every movement carried authority. And when the results were announced, the world gasped. Ronnie Coleman, Mr. Olympia. It was a victory that redefined the sport. That moment didn't just crown him champion, it marked the birth of an era. Between 1998 and 2005, Ronnie Coleman would go on to win 8 consecutive Mr. Olympia titles, tying the record set by Lee Haney. Each year, he came back bigger, stronger, sharper, defying logic, defying the human body itself. His training videos became cult classics. The sound of his voice shouting "lightweight, baby," while lifting unimaginable weight became a symbol of dedication and insanity combined. Fans across the globe saw in him not just a bodybuilder, but a symbol of what it meant to give everything for a dream. Yet behind the glory was a man who still lived simply. He continued working as a police officer well into his championship years. His colleagues often joked that Mr. Olympia could arrest you with one hand and smile while doing it.